So I'll talk about the so-called complexes. The idea is that this comprehension of the complexes could enrich our chart analysis and maybe bring a new comprehension to all of you too. I hope so, okay? So the complexes were described by Carl Gustav Jung. For those who are not familiar with Jung, he was a Swiss doctor who founded analytical psychology, which is followed by millions of people all over the world up to our days. By the way, Jung loved astrology. I don't know if you know about it, but he really liked astrology. He made a research on astrology and is largely known that he delineated charts of his clients in therapy, especially in the last 10 years of his professional life. So the idea today is that we learn some techniques to support our clients promoting growth through the integration of the different parts of their birth charts. We'll first face all the difficulties of the complexes, but then we'll see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel and somehow we can deal with these forces. So hold on and we'll get there, okay? First of all, let me introduce Frida Kahlo to you. When I was preparing this lecture, I was deeply touched by Frida Kahlo's life, so I'd like to share it with you. I'm sure you will love her as much as I did. For those who don't know who she was, Frida Kahlo was a Mexican painter who lived from 1907 to 1954 and became internationally famous not only for her paintings that always mixed realism with fantasy, but also for her political and feminist activism. And also, she was largely known for her marriage to Diego Rivera, another famous Mexican painter. You will see how extraordinary her life was. And although it was full of sad events, it was also very interesting and her life force truly inspiring. So don't worry, we'll get back to her chart in a minute, okay? Just let's see a little bit of the theory first, and then we'll go to the charts. So what are these so-called complexes? Jung concluded that the psyche is composed of many centers, which he called autonomous centers of complexes, which are highly charged, possessing a strong energy of their own and creating their own core beliefs. Thus, complexes are groups of unconscious and connected ideas associated with events or particular experiences and loaded with emotional charge. This emotional charge can go from mild to extremely strong, with more or less input of psychic energy. He discovered the complexes through the development of his word association test, when he realized that there are disturbances in consciousness that appear regardless of one's rational understanding. Okay? So, these complexes form core beliefs, the intrapsychic stories we bring inside and that we totally believe in, right? So the more intense a complex is, the greater the emotion and tendency to action with no previous reflection, because we don't react only to the current situation, but to all the similar situations we have been through previously in our lives. So Jung said, when activated, the pattern attracts like a magnetism the contents of consciousness, gathering the highly charged ideas and emotional experiences loaded with affection that compose the personal complex. These stories become like self-fulfilling prophecies, since what we believe to be true inside ourselves ends up being true in the outside world, right? So the unconscious story becomes reality.